Good morning, YouTube friends. Um, Good morning, YouTube friends, and yeah, today is supposed to be the 30th episode of our live at dawn series content where I wake up early, like 4, 3:30, but usually 4:35 in the morning, and then doing something here in the garden. So today is December 30th, 2023, Saturday morning. And yeah, so much going on. Like, I've been in Forex for more than 8 years, but still I couldn't build a portfolio of my own. Keep coming back to zero, to zero, to zero level. I don't understand. And there was this experience last Thursday evening before we pick up my mother at the bus station. I was trading, and like a day before that, that was Wednesday. I put in money like Tuesday, and that $14 grew up to $60 something. And then after that, by Wednesday, early Wednesday, I continued trading, and then by Thursday morning, I grew up that money. I changed the figures from 60 to $156, and then by Thursday evening, that account dropped half and eventually burned by late midnight of Thursday, and that's Friday morning. So that Friday morning, yeah, that was yesterday. So we went to the beach. I tried to unwind myself, but I cannot get over about the situation because this problem happens to me every single time, every December for more than 8 years now, every December. So there was like around 8 December in the past that I usually struggle with this repeated uh, mundane stuff. And yeah, my gardening activities, I didn't have midterm grades yet. I still have to encode each point for midterm unit 1 and 2 and 3. Actually, I have a lot of things to do today and tomorrow, and I do not know how I can focus my poker tournament by Monday. It's a big tournament. It's $100,000 prize, pool prize. 15K will be for the big winner. I don't know how can I compete with that, but I'll try. But I think the result is not what I am expecting because of right now I am mentally like challenged about stuffs. It's hard to balance maintaining the well-being of your garden, of your plants, at the same time your schoolwork. We have this side hustle, forex and poker tournament, four things at a time, and I think that's beyond what my capacity can actually do. So it's hard. And see the vlog title. You see the vlog title. I have failed miserably. That means I wake up today like quarter to 7. I wake up quarter to 7 a.m. in the morning. It's not dawn anymore. It's like part of the morning, not early morning, but it's morning because you have sunrise already. When you talk about live at dawn series, meaning I do vlogs, I do live streaming around dawn, wee hours, like 3, like 4 in the morning. And it should be that way. But now at episode 30, I have failed miserably. Yeah, the challenge is beyond my patience can handle, beyond the limits. And I don't know. Um, I cannot tell you the whole details here, but you can only learn about my personal life, just a bit of it, but not seeing through the whole stuff. Because no matter how I explain that, you're not walking through my life, so you will not understand this, and that's the fact. And so you can judge me superficially, the things that you might see in the video, but not the whole entire life or experience that I have. But well, we'll leave it that way. But yeah, that's the fact, that's the truth, and yeah, I'm already tired. If you have watched my videos last time, like 2 years ago, before I got the work, yeah, that was more than 2 years ago. I uploaded a video for more than 25, 30 minutes long, where the blog title is Suicide or Live. And that thought is now like whispering in my mind. And that time, when I have this thoughts, suicide or live, I was still praying. I was still praying to God. I still tried to read Bible because I used to do that. When I was a kid, my dad was training me to memorize verses. At the age of 3 or 4, my dad used to wake me up at 4 a.m. in the morning. 4 a.m. 4 o'clock in the morning. He used to wake me up, memorize Bible verses, and probably the explanations can last up to 3, 4 pages long in paper. And I have this specific segment during the Adventist Youth Program in Sabbath afternoon where I have to um, like give a little bit of preaching. They call it preaching for 5 to 7 to 10 minutes long, and I speak fast when it comes to delivery or kind of preaching or whatever. I speak fast, so that means that 3 to 5 pages memorize detailed speech with explanations and Bible verses in different types of topics in my local dialect, Bisaya, can last up to 5 to 10 minutes long. I've been doing that for several times. It seems like there's no skip days or Saturdays where I will not go in front and then deliver the preaching, the speech that my dad have trained me individually every single morning for several months. And I was trained like that. And that's why when I went to elementary, so I got first honor from grade 1 to grade 6. I memorized poems for 8, 12 stanzas in just a matter of days. Because before I went to my first grade, I already used to do that with my dad in my local language, local dialect, Bisaya. Well, the poems that I memorized when I was in first grade to sixth grade during commencement exercises or graduation day before I received my recognition as the first owner of that particular grade, I had to memorize or recite a poem, something like that. But then, yeah, years pass. I went to academy. Struggle starts because we have money when I was elementary, when I was in primary years. But then I don't know what happened. All all the farming that my dad was doing, experience absolute losses like failure, harvest, and many other stuff. And we started losing money, we lose our merchandise store and everything. And I struggled in my study when I was in academy financially, though I have academic scholarship, but it's not enough. And then I prayed to God to go to college, but actually, if I didn't, still maybe I can chose a better option with that. But I was too indoctrinated. I was too manipulated to understand such thing that there is a God who will help you when you ask. Matthew 7 and 8, ask and it will be given, all this stuff. But you know what? Over the years, after I finished college, I start figuring it out about the depression that I have suffered since the time my dad died of cancer, uh, March 30, 2008. I was in the field. I did field study in my course, in my degree as theology. I had this evangelistic crusade Bible studies in in a certain place somewhere in Maragusan, Compostela Valley province. Now it's Cagayan de Oro. They changed the name of the province to Cagayan de Oro from Compostela Valley province. That area where the gold mining operations are existing. A lot of gold mine there, both big scale and small scale mining. And yeah, we were there. I did tremendously uh, the job, the study, the evangelistic crusade, the Bible study that we are assigned to, and um, yeah, the success was great. Our professor was there at the same time. Our chairperson of the theology department, Dr. Herbin. I owe a lot to him about the success I have in the college where I graduated. Yeah, he helped me through understanding the struggles. But to me, right now, I don't want to blame anyone, but I just figure out that religion is bullshit. Yeah, religion is bullshit. It's it's the most. Where's my chair? I have to sit down. It's better to do it with a chair. My knees are. Mommy, I'll be back. Um, where we at? Yeah, religion is the greatest scam in world's history. The most productive scam in world's history. Whether you agreed with me, you have your own opinions. I have my own as well. But it came to the point that I realized there are two kinds of people in the world: the ones that have eyes open, but their brain are sleeping. Yeah. While the other group of people in the world, they have realized the truth, they figure it out, but they don't want to like open it up to others. Right now, maybe it's a way for me to open it with others because I film it, I shared it in my live stream. But it doesn't mean that I am like negative on this part or this particular field, but I'm just like sharing what I have realized. Uh, I graduated my bachelor's degree in theology, not just an ordinary graduate. I have recognition and honors. My GPA is qualified for magna summa cum laude, but because of two professors, maybe I have been repeating this several times. So if you are a subscriber to me or have heard this one from my mouth several times, you can skip this one. You don't have to watch it. This is for others who don't have heard, who haven't heard, who have not heard about this. Yeah, my trigonometry, which is higher math, was 94, but my algebra, which is the basic, was 85. And the reason that when I asked the professor is that I look like with my other friend. Yeah, my friend is maybe like uglier than me. I'm not handsome, but he's uglier than me. Well, how can I look like him? And the grade was transferred to him. Was just like having that easy talk to a college student. We're not high school anymore that day. We were first year college, and he said to me, "Oh, I thought it's you. Your grade is like somewhere 1992 for algebra, but yeah, I cannot change it. It was like transferred to a friend." And this friend of mine who got 92 in algebra was actually failed the entrance, the math entrance exam. And that's why he has math plus. Actually, two entrance exam before you can enter the college where I studied. You have to take math and English entrance exam, and if you failed both exams, then you have to add that in your subject course for the entire semester. So we're supposed to have 21 units. Now my friend got 27 because math plus and English plus has 3 units each and added to 21, so that's 27. So this guy failed both entrance exams, but in our algebra one, he got 92 and I got 85, where I got a high score in the math entrance exam, both in English entrance exam as well. Yeah, I see things that does not coherently work within the denomination itself and how the professors are dealing things. And with my Filipino one as well, panitikan ng Pilipinas, Filipino one, I got 85. My friends got 98. But now, who speak Tagalog like native? It's me. I don't know, my friends, my batch 2009. Uh, all of us are theology, of course. We have one lady and around 14 or 15 of us male. I don't know if any one of them can can actually like have a conversation with a native Tagalog from Luzon for maybe I don't know if they can last around 5 minute long conversation. But Tagalog is my like ordinary usual language, usual dialect. Because I got married to a Tagalog. Yeah, things pretty crazy. And you know what? This this stuff happened like 14, not just 14, maybe 17, 18 years ago. Yeah, likely 17, 16 years ago to be exact. Around that year, that number of years, 16, 17 years ago. But then this this thing is still fresh in my thoughts, in my mind. To me, that would be different if I was given a fair chance to retrieve the grade I deserve for Filipino 1 from 85 to at least somehow. I actually asked the professors to give me a special project, a special task where I can retrieve my exact grade. My Filipino 1, which was 85, I want to have at least 88 or 90, because in the school manual or handbook, in the school handbook, it says there, even your GPA is 3.6, 3.5, 3 point something. So 3.5, you're guaranteed for the summa cum laude after your graduation, during your graduation. But then the school handbook says if you have one subject that has 85 grade, like below 86, that means 85. Even your GPA is 3.5, you're not qualified for summa cum laude, and even or magna cum laude, and even other stuff, because somehow you can have exponential grades with other subjects, and you only have one that has 85, then still you're not qualified. That is how strict the school handbook, the policy, the yeah, the policy. So you will not, you will go down to the category departmental honor, and that's what I got. So yeah, for 4 years I tried to work it hard, and I was even told by like someone, a senior. Now he's in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. He got masters already. He was summa cum laude. He was math major, and now he's teaching in a prestigious academy or maybe college in somewhere in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Magjin Arangis. I was first year then when he was third year or fourth year college. And he said to me, dude, you have the potential. You're not just an ordinary guy. I see that because my first 6 weeks in the college, I was like suddenly given a task or part during Sabbath school service, Sabbath school program. Usually, Sabbath school service is far better to use the term. And then I was given, I was asked to deliver a promotional talk or a speech during Sabbath school worship. That was like 9 a.m. in the morning, Saturday. And it was received by the crowd positively. And after that, I keep coming back to the podium with the scheduled speech, and yeah, and most of them like impromptu, because I was not like assigned to deliver the speech with 1 week or 2 weeks preparation. Usually it happened to me impromptu, since for the whole long week where the presiders have to prepare the program, and they were asking students who would be going up there and shared a sermon, a speech, or a promotional talk, but nobody accepted. Most of them refused until like a day before Saturday, or that would be Friday evening. We have lots of worship scheduled there. Like we have Monday evening, we have Wednesday departmental meetings that happens around lunchtime, and we have uh, Friday evening uh, whisper meeting, and yeah, whole Saturday until sunset from early morning. So usually people refuse until the presider don't have any option but to find me with only 3 4 hours remaining before the program starts. So I usually have that pot like 2 3 hours or maybe 2 hours preparation before I presented something. So that becomes a habit to me until I was like officially recommended to an international church somewhere in Davao. I don't know if that international church is still existing right now, so I'm not sure, but probably yes. But I've heard that the founding elder there, Dr. Nanyes, just passed away several years ago because of COVID. So I don't know who took his place, but yeah, the community there was great. Um, that that Bangkal International Church was my training ground to help me develop and improve more in character, in attitude, in all aspects. Yeah, how I like behave, how I act professionally. With I was young then, like 18 years old, and I was dealing with people who got 2 3 PhDs. Yeah, I did the lesson study and the sermon during divine service, where my audience were professors of the University of Mindanao, different universities, doctors, medical doctors, dentists, and businessmen. Those were the members of that church where I was a student pastor for more than a year. But I went there for two reasons. I was recommended by the college, actually. There were 5 or 4 of us selected, and they narrowed down to one. And I was the selected individual. I was the fortunate individual out of those 4 or 5. And the other 4 were seniors. They were fourth year college. They're about to graduate, and they have already like segment in the FM station. But yeah, they speak English. We both speak English. But then I don't know what happened. Yeah, that was really like a good luck to me because I need it. Not for my personal improvement that time. I realized later on that that was my training ground and that was so important to me. But the first impression that I had during the time that I was announced that I was officially recommended by the admission committee of the South Philippine Adventist College that I have to go there and do church pastoring, student church pastoring, helping the elder, the officers of the church, um, like handling the program, likely Saturday because they don't have Wednesday evening worship and Vespers meeting on Friday evening. So only Saturday. We meet up at Saturday morning until afternoon. But I have to go to the church to clean and prepare, arrange the church, the chairs and everything. Yeah, at the same time, I was a custodian. Yeah, aside from handling the program, presiding the program. And yeah, it took me to more than 1 year and a half. I stopped doing student church pastoring there during the time that I have this personal evangelism subject, in which I have to find students for Bible study and, yeah, of course, candidate for baptism. You will not get a 98 to 100 grade if you will not um, surpass the maximum number of candidates for baptism. That's a requirement, to be honest. And personal evangelism, it's during your first semester. By the second semester, you have this public evangelism where you have to conduct crusades, Bible studies. You have to manage a church where you have to convince the church, the whole church, that they're going to finance and help you with your evangelistic crusade for a week or two, that somehow it will translate or convert into several candidates of baptism. So that's the idea there. And once you have personal evangelism, you have to start working on a church where the church can help you finding individuals to attend to your evangelistic crusade for a week or maybe two, but that time I did 1 week only. And then um, you have to yeah, ask the church to help you financially because you're a student and you need the church to help you funding. And of course you need logistics, you need people to work with you for the whole duration, from the time preparation to the evangelistic crusade week. And yeah, it's not easy. And then the church where I was doing the student church pastoring back then in Bangkok International Church, somewhere in Davao, behind the Adventist Hospital, Bangkok. Um, but there were offshoot churches there, two offshoot churches, not the one. Bangkok International Church was actually started um, at the basement of Kamos Church, but then they transfer and rented a place somewhere near the vicinity, near the ground of the offshoot community there, the Bolo and Ayuban. Ayuban is in front of the hospital near the highway. Bolo's community is behind the hospital and close to the Bangkok International Church, where we have to pass that offshoot church when you get into the Bangkok International Church. Sometimes they're branded that they're offshoot, but no, they're not. And yeah, since the members there in the church, they're working as professors in universities, they're working professionals, they are dentists, medical doctors, businessmen, in which they don't have time to help me. And so that was the reason I stopped there. And I was the first student church pastor in that Bangkok International Church. It's not a big church, but the members there have big brains. Yeah. And uh, so I asked them to help me, but they cannot commit. And they said, Philmar, you might be struggling here. I know, we know that it's it's your study. You need to have the maximum grade you aim for, and perhaps we cannot help you that because we're busy with our professions, our work, our careers. So I think you need to find a church where they can conveniently help you finding students to learn Bible and candidates for baptism. At the same time, yeah, logistics is quite important when it comes to crusades. I tell you, YouTube friends. So that's why, yeah, though I have this good allowance there. I receive around 600 pesos, the minimum, but it can even go higher, that amount, every Saturday. I receive free fare from the seminary ministerial seminar department, and that is under union conference, but it was attached to the theology department in Adventist institution, where um, all outers, people who are like handling a church, will receive a free fare to the destination they're into, from the point, from the starting point, the Spacey campus, the college campus. So you stay, it could be in the village or inside the Spacey campus, and then you go out and go to your destination, to the church you are handling with, and then you have a free fare. And it's up to the church that they have to provide a fare for you back to the campus. But the Bangkok International Church gave me more. I supposed to receive only 100 peso for my fare back to the campus, but they gave me around 600 peso and even above that every Saturday. So I have like this leftover amount for around 500 peso a week. And I didn't have money when I was in the college. As I mentioned to you lately, when I was in high school, we struggled already financially. I was only depending on my academic scholarship when I was in the academy years, and yeah, that was hard. So that 500 peso weekly was a great help to me financially to survive with food and some projects. And yeah, in my major subjects, I have to own a book. So our professors was generous. He allowed us to print the original copy of the book, and then I pay in installment to be able to have a copy of the books in all our major subjects. And actually, all my collected books from that hard earning was in Philippines. I don't know if they're still existing or the cockroach have already consumed the whole stuff. It was like in the house of my mother's sister. So I don't know. That's I've been here in Thailand for almost 13 years now. I'll be 13 years. It will be my 13th year this April 2024. Today's December 30, 2023. So let's continue. And so Bangkok International Church cannot commit to help me with my um, personal evangelism. So I went to another place, and it was Kidapawan. Yeah, Amas Kidapawan Church, where people are Ilonggos and Ilocano, but likely most of them are Ilonggos. It's also a minority tribe, but I think not just minority. But maybe that one will consider as well, because Bisaya is also like considered minority, though a lot of Bisaya also there. Um, so I went there. The members were reluctant, and yeah, the elder was the superintendent of National Kidapawan National High School Division. I think Ma'am Rodriguez has PhD. Yeah, yeah, she has doctorate. Yeah, she has doctorate. Her husband was cancer survivor and has also master's degree in physical education. Was a professor then, but stopped working because of the sickness, the illness he suffered from. And then now he was just like monitoring their properties, their land properties. They have several land properties in different locations, so that's her husband's doing, checking and, yeah, looking after the workers. So her husband has a lot of time to do other stuff. It so happened that I was there because that's the only church remaining where none of the theology students would like to go, because the district leader has already given an info that the elder there was the superintendent of the Kidapawan National High School Division, where she criticized all details. But we were good friends until I finished and I left there. She's a good leader to me, but she doesn't want lousy people. Yeah, she doesn't want lousy and lazy individuals. She wants a hard-working and honest individual. And I live in their house during weekend. I even work in her mango farm during Sunday, and so I double my allowance. I receive 500 peso for working the whole day during Sunday in her mango farm, and I receive sometimes 400 to 600 peso for handling the church. So I have money when I get back to the campus, and that money I use to survive physically, emotionally, all this stuff. And yeah, that was a good experience I had there. And I do even have like acquaintances here in Bangkok, where that guy was a theology graduate as well with honors, and then it happens that he is a relative, distant relative with Dr. Mam Rodriguez. And yeah, I was humbled, and I will not say proud, but I'm happy to hear that all Amas Church community were happy that I was there for like 2 semesters. Yeah, likely almost 2 semesters. Yeah, I think, yeah, around 1 year. No, not maybe 8 to 9 months long, to be exact. When I was there, yeah, I'm glad to hear the feedback from the people there, especially to Mom Rodriguez. I owe her a lot for the survival months that they were part, and they have contributed to me financially, though I really work hard there. And this is what happened. Um, let's get back to the criticism of Mam Rodriguez to many pastors. Yeah, because a lot of pastors in the district are lazy, lousy, working individuals. They only want the salary at the end of the month, but they're not working well. They're not working to the limits that they are supposed to like exert the effort. But they're just tiring around, idling around. They don't really produce the quality of work that the members are expecting. Not all ministers, but most of them. And I've seen them in the eyes. I've seen them literally. I have witnessed all these drama, all this travel, all these all these truths in the district, because I worked my profession for a year before before I like moved in here in Thailand. And um and so nobody wants to go there in Alma's church. And there's I have no option because that is the only remaining church that is available for a student like me who has a personal evangelism and a public evangelism subject. So I have no option, but I have to go there. So yeah, during my first Saturday, I was the one discussing the Sabbath school lesson. I think the lesson that time was about sanctuary or seal of God. I cannot figure out. I cannot remember exactly the particular topic of the Sabbath school lesson. And then after that, divine service, where you have to like give a sermon or a message to the brethren, to the members. Since that was my first Sabbath, and I used to speak English since my late years in academy. Yeah, I tried to improve. One reason why I was doing this because when I first arrived, yeah, let's go back a little bit in my academy years. When I arrived at grade 7 in Davao Oriental Academy, most of my classmates, we were 72 first years, and I think more than half of that number can speak English fluently because they were from private institutions, both Adventist, Baptist, and other institutions where, yeah, their language of command there in the campus was English. And I was a graduate of a tiny school in the village near the mountain, where it is a far distance from the city, the town. Actually, it was a town. Yeah, it was not a city at that time. The Mati city now was a town back then, and it's far. And sometimes we do even have classes during afternoon every Monday because the teachers arrive late at school, and the whole entire morning of Monday were spent for playing any kinds of stuff, and even like punching faces and bullying others. I grew up that kind of neighborhood in the school because, yeah, teachers arrive late at school on Monday. So we have usually, not all Mondays, but usually Monday we only have classes in the afternoon. And then usually Friday afternoon we ended our class early because the teachers has to go back to the town by motorbike. Uh, yeah, that was hard, and I don't speak English. I understand. I can answer questions in English. No, the questions is in English. I can answer that, but constructing a sentence in English is no way for me. It's too far. It's too difficult for me to do it. Unless it's a memorized speech, it's a memorized thing, then I can do it. But yeah, that was a struggle. So that's why I encourage myself. We don't have good library. We have an old library where only Ellen White's books, old ones, like 100 years old books, was donated to that old library. I have to steal some of the old books because the librarian will not allow us to borrow books. I don't know why. You just have to go there and sit, and it's all dust. And you'll get sick there for an hour sitting in a chair. So why spend in a very uncomfortable place? You have to go out, but you're not allowed to bring the book outside. So I have to do the other option, which is illegal, but it helped me a lot. I improved a lot. I don't have dictionary, so I have to steal a dictionary in the library because the school was so strict. Um, yeah, I did that for, I know it was not good. It was illegal. It was a violation of the school policy. But I want to improve myself. I want to grow up. I want to improve my speaking skills. I want to improve my English skills because most of my classmates in first years, they're good in English. And you know what? In 2 years of improving myself in that language, I was far better than those guys who were good at that language when we first arrived in the academy. So that's the secret. You have to work hard, you will improve. But if you just depend on praying, kneeling your knees, nothing will happen. You have to work your ass hard if you want to improve, if you want to see something difference in you. That's the thing I learned. And yeah, a lot of things that I don't like as a whole, how these people work in the denomination and how they deal things with members and other people. They can be good and holy people in front of the public crusades where they're asking people to be candidates for baptism and to join Adventist community. But within the community, especially if you're nobody in the church, they don't care. Why? My dad was suffering of cancer. He was dying in his deathbed. And the district leader, the assigned pastor in the district where our church belongs to, is just like few steps away from the highway. That's our house until now. But he could not visit my dying father. I was in the college that time. He could not visit my dad for several reasons. I'm so busy with my master's degree. But actually, they're not busy. I have friends there right now. Maybe they don't like me to disclose this truths. But they would even tell me, you know what, friend, if we have some like discussion with other pastors that we will go somewhere, unwind ourselves to the beach or to the mountains for a week, then we will allow the new graduate, where they call that one intern or adapt a minister right now. This is another term. We will let them take place, take our place, take our duty, assign them to monitor the whole district and do all the appointments while we're not present, so we can unwind ourselves, we can do what we want in party. Is it is it ethical? Yeah, it is if it is private, probably within themselves. But uh, I cannot fathom how these guys. But that's the norm. That's the trend. And if you don't want to go with them, if you work in the district as a pastor, and if you isolate yourself from these guys, then you will be considered as a hater and you have nobody to lean on when you struggle. Nobody will help you. Even you have the full potential to be a minister, even you have all the skills that this ministry needs. But if you work alone, then still it will be it would be a genuine hell to you. And I cannot swallow that kind of act. You claim that your employer is God. You receive salary from the tithes of the members, and you're not doing your responsibility honestly. How can I work with you? Maybe I can consider myself as a far better employee in the government because I honestly do my job than ministers who are claiming to be religious leaders and working in the denomination, but actually they're doing foolishness. Now, they're even like convincing me to go back to Philippines with my whole family here and like assign me in a church for a few months, and then they're going to put me a leader, a head, a department head in the communication department, because that's where my skill is, communication. So they're going to put me as a director in the communication department, and probably will upgrade and will be promoted to higher level, from local conference to union conference to division, and who knows? A Filipino will go to the general conference. Usually, black and white are like managing the directorships there. But we have a few who are 100% Filipino blood, but they're already retired. Pastor Figao in the publishing department, and there's Sumagay Sai, but he was just an associate director in the legal and trust department of the General Conference. But that was back then. Now I think there's non-Filipino directors working in the General Conference. Misarius, I'm not sure. I forgot the I forgot the headquarter, because I don't give a fuck with religion right now. For like almost 2 years now, to be exact, where 100% that I don't give a fuck with that. Yeah, it's not for me. Yeah, you know what? I started mentioning that religion is the most productive and effective and the greatest scam in world's history. And then after that, I narrated the whole thing about my experience from my years in the academy to college. And there was this thing that I forgot. Yeah, when I was in the academy, during my third year high school and fourth year, there was no grade 12 yet that time. It was the 30th term from 2016 where grade 12 was implemented back. But to me, in my years, early 2000, yeah, after you finish fourth year or Matayong 4 or grade 10, then y- you can immediately go to college or universities. You have to take entrance exams, and then when you pass, then yeah, you can graduate earlier than today's curriculum. So when I was third year, I usually have my special exam. Why? Because I cannot take the exam on a scheduled date, since I cannot get my examination pass. Only those who can pay in full will get the examination pass. And that examination pass will give you the access to take the exam. And then I cannot get it because I have balances. Though I have academic scholarship since I was in academy years, but that academic scholarship fund will only arrive at the end of the school year. So what happened to my first and second semester? I have to provide initially money like the general fees, the miscellaneous fees. I have to pay that. But I don't have money. I could not even pay my 50 pesos rent per month in a bunk bed in the dormitories outside the campus. That was pretty hard for us financially. But we have 8 hectares of land. At the time was even bigger before my dad sold the other location. But you know what? Land that has only declaration rights, not a title, because it somehow located in a mountain area where the public surveyor cannot don't have the access to yet. So the price is not that expensive, but now I think it's getting expensive, but we don't have any plan to sell that land yet. My mom need to go and check that one first. Yeah, it's pretty hard and difficult. Yeah, until now we struggle with financial responsibilities. Um, so even if I perfectly scored the exam, like 50 over 50, so 50 items, even if I um, get 50 in all subjects, which I did, but still it's minus 20. So those bright students, classmates that I have who get 90, 95, still will go ahead of me because 100% minus 20, I only have 80 remaining. And you know what? I don't know why school in Adventist institution is doing that. You know what? My depression, my discouragement started from there. Why? I even tried smoking when I was in high school. Yeah, I need to like divert my stress, my struggles to something that, yeah, I can enjoy myself. But I grew up in a godly family. My dad was, man, when it comes to spirituality, religiosity, combine all this stuff to go to heaven, my dad will be number one there. That's the kind of my father I had. You know what? I even blame God, but now I realize there is no God. But back then, when I was in college, I still believed that there was God. I even asked him, please let my dad survive because I need him. I want him to see me marching on my graduation day in the college. But my dad died a year ago before I can march on my graduation day in the college. Where was God? I'd say, ha, God allowed things to happen. Ah, that's bullshit. I don't agree with that. No, I cannot say I don't agree, but I don't believe that. You have your own opinion. I have my own. We might have different directions. We might be in a different path. But to me, as a people, I love you. But Christians will hate people who don't believe God. And it's a fact. But they can pretend themselves not to in public, but deep inside in private talks, in private meetings, you'll see there that what they're talking in public, it's really opposite in private meetings and private talks. That's real shit. Hypocrisy at its best. And uh, that's the thing there, YouTube friends. If you want to leave my channel, I don't care, but I have to let this video stay because even if I'm gone 100 years, 200 years later, as long as YouTube will stay, then this evidence, this testimony from my heart right now will stay and will give an enlightenment to many people that you have to think better and not just following something blindly. That's my goal here. This video will not explode 5 years, 10 years from now, but I'm pretty sure there will be a time that this video is going to explode where people watch and realize how fuck up, how stupid they were. And I hope you'll do it soon. And do not wait until you get old to realize the truth. Yeah, because truth matters. But usually Christians, they only allow truth that matters when it comes to Bible. But aside from that, they don't care. They'd say, no, no, I don't accept that. That's a real shit. And you know what? Yeah, let's go back to where we stopped. Yeah, when I was in Amas Church, Kidapawan, during the divine service after the lesson study, I've seen Dr. Rodriguez. Mom Rodriguez was like having a thumbs up to me at the corner, but I never thought she was the elder, the leader of the church. So I proceeded to the anteroom where we prepared ourselves for the divine service. And I was, of course, that was my first Sabbath. I have to market myself that this members will accept me as a student pastor, and they're going to cast their vote and help me financially and logistically for my evangelistic crusade because I don't have money. The the school, the conference will only like share around 1,500 pesos for the evangelistic crusade, and the rest let the church shoulder the responsibility. That's the terms there. And you have to market yourself as a student pastor who has this public evangelism subject. You have to market yourself that the members will like you, convince them that you are worthy of their support, and that you have this smooth sailing of your work there. So you have to work with hearts and minds with these members of the church. So I had a pretty well prepared sermon, and indeed it was. After the presentation, we're shaking hands with members of the church, and it was Mom Rodriguez shook my hands, and she said, well done. You're accepted in this church. You start working in this church from now on until the last day that you want to stay here. I was so surprised, but yeah, I was not really thinking much about it. Only later I realized she was the leader or the elder of that church. And she said, every weekend, Friday evening from the school campus, you travel here and you have to go directly to my house. It's a big one. It's it's a messy one, but it's a big one. You can probably sleep comfortably there if you can adjust the environment. Because I have grandkid and my adopted 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 daughter. She's not really like into cleaning. So, yeah, when I arrive there, I have another responsibility to clean the house. Yeah, washing plates, mopping the floor, cleaning the cobweb. Yeah, it's not my work, but you have to do extra stuff, such friends. That's the protocol. That's the SOP there when you work in the ministry. If you're an honest individual, if you are really hardworking, if you're really, yeah, into your A game, you have to do extra stuff even you're not asked to do it. Yeah, I have to because I cannot sleep comfortably with all the smell, bad smell. Yeah, because indeed Mom Rodriguez was not lying, but she was speaking the truth that her adopted daughter was missing. So I was cleaning. That was my additional work, but I don't give a fuck to that. It's okay. So now their house was, yeah, turning into a clean, and yeah, the environment smells good already. Sometimes even cook the food, and it was a nice environment later on. And they have this German Shepherd where I make friends with her because that dog likes to eat fruit, and yeah, she was aggressive at the beginning, but eventually we were good friends. I like animals. I like dogs. So yeah, it's an additional comfort to me as well. So back in the work, yeah, I was accepted, and the district pastors and some people who have known uh, Mom Rodriguez, like Squirrel. Ah, you're abusing now, man. I provided you food, but please do not abuse the privilege. And yeah, I was like working several individuals there, including Mom Rodriguez. And the district pastor was surprised and amazed. Wow, how did you do it? I said, it's not about becoming a genius, it's not about being a good preacher, but although that will do, I just have to be honest and hardworking. I think that's the thing that I learned even today with this age 37, and I've been through a lot of experiences in life, both the happy ones and the sad ones and the discouraging ones. But I realize that hardworking and honest individuals will be rewarded in the end. Though this world is unfair, you just have to work your ass uh, all day long, because there should be a good thing that might happen. Yeah. But do not think that there is a God that you can lean on. It's just a fabricated mindset. It's just a fabricated thing that manipulated human minds all throughout the world. It could be Islams, it could be Buddhists, it could be Christians, or any kind of religion where people are depending to some kind of entity which is powerful, supernatural, where they can lean on and take refuge in terms of the time of struggles and suffering. Um, yeah, I tell you frankly with that, yeah, that's why right now, you know what? When yeah, let's still go back to yeah, we have a lot of things to talk about. Um, yeah, when I was there in the Amas church, now I ask the brethren, can we do Bible study here? Can we find people who are like interested to learn Bible? And they said, oh, we have a lot of backsliders here. They were used to be an Adventist people, but then now they're not because they get discouraged of something in the church or whatever. I said, can we visit them? Can we revisit them? And somehow we can rekindle their interest to learn the Bible and blah, learn the biases, learn all the steps that needs to consider. And the brethren in that church said, no, I think it's pretty hard for us to ask their like hearts to open up again and allow us to visit their houses. They will have they're going to have to close their doors once they see us. So it's not well. How can you help me find candidates for baptism? And they said, yeah, we have a church inside the provincial jail. Yeah, a penitentiary. I don't know how you call the term. Below than that. Mm. Maybe yeah, a penitentiary in the provincial level, where around I don't know exactly the maybe close to 1,000, maybe 3,000. Yeah, that penitentiary house around 3,000 inmates. multiple murderer, robbery, bombers, yeah, heavy crimes where these people have committed. And now there was a church established by late Pastor Diaz and Wendell Serrano. Wendell Serrano at that time was the president of the Union Conference, maybe, and um, they established that church back in 1980s. I arrived there 2007. Yeah, exactly. I arrived there 2007, like July, August. No, no, partly July, June, July, around that date. So I arrived there, and so yeah, I start working my ass. We visited the church. You have to pass three different types of gates from the outside and heavily guarded. And I asked the warden's permission to conduct a worship there. And the warden said you have to officially do it by writing a paper, a document signed by your president and in charge individuals of your department in the college, and then I'll have it signed if I will approve or not. And he was really a hard man to deal with. Yeah, he was a difficult man to deal with, and then I successfully asked his approval. So we started having worship there, and the husband of Mam Rodriguez used to be a professor in the university who has a master's degree in PE, physical education, was my health lecturer. So I asked him, "Sir, can you help me?" He said, yeah. I'm willing to help you. I don't have anything to do besides monitoring the farm, so I have so much time to help you there. So every Saturday afternoon, the whole Saturday morning, Sabbath school lesson, promotional talk, and divine service message or sermon before we go to lunch. I do that. Yeah, entire morning of Saturday, I have to handle Amas Church, Amas Adventist Church. Yeah, whole morning, and then after lunch, we travel another 15 kilometers away from Mam Rodriguez's house to the provincial penitentiary, and then I'll be conducting a sermon Bible study there for another 2 hours. The inmates were allowed to go out from their cell around 2 o'clock. No, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So just like approximately 2 hours. So we need to arrive there before 1 p.m. because otherwise we cannot consume. We only have the time is not enough to present the thing that we have prepared. So we have to spend at least 2 hours worship there. So it took me a month, like four Saturdays to keep coming back there during afternoon, that I win the hearts of the inmates. Now I am the new mayor of the penitentiary of Kidapawan Provincial Jail. So yeah, they called me pastor, and then yeah, inmates were hungry for words of God, and of course for other stuff. So they asked me medicine. So I really look and check the individual. You're really sick, or you're just using this for drugs? No, I'm really sick. Okay, so I was the courier as well. Pastor, I need sleepers. I don't have flip flop. I just barely uh, barefooted walking around. Okay, I'll try to find means. I don't have money. I even depend on the allowance from the church, and these people are asking help. And so I ask donations from outside, and even sometimes I use my allowance to buy medicine. You know what, YouTube friends? That was the real ministry. That was the real deal back then in my college days when I was a student pastor. Even my allowance that sometimes it amounts to 1,000 pesos sometimes if I can work in the farm for the whole Sunday. My my elder, Mom Rodriguez, will give me another half, another 500. But there are times that I cannot work. So I have to go back to college because I have to prepare, especially if there's an exam. So I only have 400, 600 peso. But still, I have to cut some of that amount to share something like bread, biscuits, or medicines, or slippers, or ball pen, where they can write something. And these guys, these inmates inside there, they said, "Oh, I've been here, Pastor, for more than 2 years, and none of my relatives have visited me then." There was a lonely, difficult, struggling life there, challenging life. And so our presence with the Bible and the Word of God brings them hope and encouragement to even see things beyond the walls of that penitentiary jail. Yeah, yeah, it gives them hope to like dream something outside the walls. Even they were detained there for 3 years, 5 years. The case is somehow like on table, and there was no complainant, but of course no bail at the same time. So they stay there for more than 7 years, 10 years, others 15 years. Like their life is somehow unknown. The future is unknown because the case is still open, but it was not touched for several years already because there was no complainant. And these are the guys being fed with dogs meat, those stray dogs that they like catch on the streets where there was no claimant, there was no owners came and claim for the animal. So they slaughter this one and they feed it to the inmates in that particular penitentiary where I was assigned to be a student pastor and looking for candidates for baptism. That was year 2007. So, and they even eat banana trunks and other things that ordinary people don't eat. And yeah, that was pretty hard life there inside the cell. And so our presence there was like serving them as hope and encouragement. And you know what? We do Bible studies. I conducted 1 week crusade there. Even my advisor, the subject professor of public evangelism, Pastor Piral, he was a seasoned, a veteran pastor in different places, and he has so much experience. But he said, "Filma, your place is not just an ordinary one." Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous when I enter the gate. This is not ordinary. I said, "Yeah, well, I'm the mayor here." I was not bragging, but I was giving you the real shit. I was mayor there. But the the prisoners, the inmates, were considering me as their superior. When I arrived there, they're like puppies. I was overwhelmed with that kind of response from the inmates. But you know what? This is the thing I can see. Not sure if there was God's providence there when I was inside the penitentiary. But there's only one thing I can share with you. If you're honest and hardworking people, people can feel your sincerity and your integrity and your honesty. People can feel that. But if you're dishonest, if you're not truthful of your work, people can also feel that, can also see the difference. That's why there is no need of having a God because he's non-existent actually. But you just have to be honest and hardworking, regardless of what institution you are in. You might be a religious person, you might be working in a religious institution or a government, a private, a non-government, or a charity. You just have to be honest, hardworking individual, and it is worth the effort, YouTube friends. I can tell you that based on my personal experience. But if you're working in a religious organization or even other organizations, still there are people who will abuse their power to use your potential, to use you for their own benefit and interests. And I've been there several times. And that's why I can tell you this real shit. Yeah, we went there, and after the crusade, even my batchmates, they said, "Wow, this is crazy environment. How did you uh, like convince these individuals? How did you manipulate these individuals?" Oh, I said, "I did not manipulate them. I did not indoctrinate them. I was just being honest with my intention and my purpose here." And that turns out a blessing to them that gives them a hope. So how can I help? That's the real deal there. And yeah, I was able to have 120 candidates for baptism. The first batch was 82, 80 something, and then the second batch and the last batch was 40 something. So all in all, I have 120 plus baptized individuals in my 3 months of Bible study there and 1 week crusade. That was a hell of an experience, but it was received with mixed opinions. They said, it's easy to conduct Bible study there because they're inmates. Okay, but why you're just shaking your knees when you get inside the penitentiary if it was easy? And others said, wow, you are a hell of a man. How did you do that? I said, well, just honest and hardworking individual. And um, yeah, I don't know. It was a record. We're only asked to have a maximum of five, at least 5 or 7 baptized individuals to get an A. So I have A grade of my public evangelism. I got 120 plus precious souls who got baptized from my 3 months Bible study and a 1 week crusade. It was attended by my professor and some of my batchmates who came for just a few minutes and then leave and said, "Oh, this environment is a hell." But for me, I can feel the loneliness. I can feel the disappointments. I can feel the anxiety. I can feel the depression. I can feel the sad side of their lives for these inmates in that penitentiary when I was there for 3 months long. You know what? Even if I don't care about religion right now, but I have a plan to visit the penitentiary once I'll go back to my country, Philippines, for a vacation. One day. Yeah, I think, you know what? I already feel the experience of being a district leader while I was a student back then in the college. It was 2007. That's why when I see the difference, how district pastors, ministers are doing in the field in the district right now, I can tell these guys are here for the salary and for the pension when they retire, but they're not actually doing the supposed responsibility they're assigned to work. That's pretty crazy, but well, that's the reality of life. Many people are here for the salary. Right now, I'm working as a government teacher. Right now, I work as a teacher in a secondary high school. I handle 4 different programs: regular MSCP, extensive in math and science, English program, EP, and then the gifted section for Matem 3 level, grade 9 level, and I have Matem 6 for EP and other level Matem 2 and 1 for English program. And then regular or Matem 3. I do train students for impromptu speech competition. I did once for the lower level, who was a champion in the national level. Now she has to defend her title this coming January. The other one, I got to champion for the provincial level, one international, and one gold international. And the English program, I got, she got top four among 30 plus schools who participated. Top four, still gold, but top four. And then I have helped a student who competed a competition where she has assigned to give a speech about the competition, but it's a group, it's a team competition, 200 teams, whole Asia, that was conducted in Taipei, and it was me who prepared the speech, or like arranged her speech. um, there was this MSEP 5, both of them in different categories, I guess, were first in the Tawan region, and top 5 in the national level. There was another one, two girls in my time 5 MSCP, and they are coming up. So it's a hell of a work in the school right now. So it's hard for me to balance my time in gardening and in school, and also on the side hustle I have forex trading and poker tournament. I'm still wishing if I can have at least $5,000 starting amount to start in forex trading. Probably I can handle that amount, and I can grow it up. I can grow up. I can change that. I can grow that amount up to exponential figures. But since I only have $14, $100, I get fucked with the market. Though I like move it exponentially to bigger but um, uh, figures, but now it's really hard. See that? This crazy neighbor here in front of us, just turning on the music. And imagine, I have this struggle around. That's why I cannot talk in my live stream YouTube friends, because this crazy neighbors here, they don't understand about copyright claim in YouTube. And so now I'm talking, so I cannot stop this. So this music here, the music publisher is going to claim the copyright of my video. So it's not my video anymore, but it's the video for the music publisher, where these neighbors are turning on the music. It's very intimidating, discouraging. This is my life right now. I cannot do quality videos here because the neighborhood is not that friendly. I don't know how I tell them about this, but yeah, these are delinquent individuals. I'm not a racist, but they do. Yeah, that's a fact. It's a real shit. So let's continue. Yeah, I graduated with colors and recognition and honors, but yeah, I was not happy because I asked God to let my father live, but he died a year ago before I can march on my graduation day. And initially, I even declare myself I don't believe in God anymore. That was 2 months before, prior to graduation day, because I cannot pay my tuition fees, and my academic scholarship is not enough to pay all the expenses, the remaining expenses, the remaining costs that I have to pay before I can receive the toga and graduate in March. So I decided I have to go back home, but it was my professor, Dr. Hagen, have helped me a lot. So yeah, it was a possibility that I can march, but I was not happy. My mom was there, was crying for the whole week. She attended my graduation, and only two of us. None of our relatives have came in. And then, yeah, and a few friends. So in March, I received my medal as a departmental honor, not a magna cum laude or whatever. But then, yeah, my mom said, "Yeah, I know dad, your dad will be happy." God is not here. God is not existing. He doesn't exist. And after that, I was used by individuals, by pastors. They use my talents, they use my skills for their advantage and then I fly here in Thailand back in April 12, 2011, and then yeah, I have helped a few ministers here for their leadership and for other things. But when I got accident, road accident, and I was kicked out from the university, these guys don't have eyes to look back to me. Yeah, that's the real shit. That's a real fact. So YouTube friends, religion is the most effective and productive scam in history, in world's history, that now still existing. We have this understanding. Religion is selling the product about salvation. Yeah, religion is selling the product about salvation. You come here, you believe the doctrines we have, there is a God, and you will be saved. So, religion is selling the product of salvation, and they have this brand ambassador, Jesus. Yeah, that's the thing. And that's the end. Have a nice Saturday morning. And to Adventist members, to Adventist friends, have a nice Saturday worship to all of you. It's not my thing. Bye bye.